Turning Pro by Steven Pressfield. What does it take to turn pro? Consider the idea of a shadow career, a career that distracts you from your true calling. A lawyer who'd make a fantastic novelist but never propels herself past literary first base. A producer who yearns to be a director but never acts on it. A mom who dreams of launching a startup but finds reason to put it off. A grad student who could probably solve climate change but discovers yet another book to read. Maybe that person is you. It's easier to cling to a shadow career than to turn pro and pursue your real calling. How do you turn pro? Habits, routines, rituals. Here's the story of how Steven Pressfield did it. My year of turning pro. I was 31. I'd saved up $2,700 and moved from New York City to a little town in Northern California. I rented a house behind another house for $105 a month. I had my old Chevy van, my Smith Corona typewriter, and my cat, Mo. Every Monday morning, I walked into the village to the Bank of America and took out $25. That sum lasted me for the next 7 days. I didn't talk to anybody during my year of turning pro. I didn't hang out. I just worked. I had a book in mind, and I had decided I would finish it or kill myself. I could not run away again, or let people down again, or let myself down again. This was it. Do or die. I had no TV, no radio, no music, no sex, no sports. I didn't read the newspaper. For breakfast, I had liver and eggs. I was like Rocky. In the early mornings, I'd walk down River Road to my friend Paul Rink's house, which was actually a camper shell mounted on a pickup. Paul was a writer. He had been a friend of Henry Miller's in Big Sur. Paul taught me what books to read and what writers to pay attention to. That was what I did at night. I read all the stuff that you're supposed to read in college but never do, or if you do, you're not paying much attention. I read Tolstoy and Dostoevsky and Turgenev. I read Cervantes, Flaubert, and Stendhal, and not Hampson, and I read every American except Faulkner. I was writing on my ancient Smith Corona, which had a heavy carriage that physically shuttled back and forth as I typed. My cat Mo would curl up on the desk on the left side of the typewriter, so that the carriage would pass over his head, back and forth as I typed. He didn't seem to mind. When I ran out of money at the end of my time, I went to pick apples in Washington State. When the season was over, I'd cleared $250 after paying rent, gas, and engine repairs. I drove south and got back to work on the book. One day, I typed, "The End." That's the moment in the war of art when I knew I had beaten resistance. I had finished something. The manuscript didn't find a publisher, and it shouldn't have. It wasn't good enough. I had to go back to a real job in advertising in New York and save up again and quit again and write another book that also didn't find a publisher because it also wasn't good enough. Neither were the 9 screenplays I wrote over the next X years. I can't even remember how many before I finally got my first check for $3,500 and promptly went back to writing more screenplays that I also couldn't sell. During the first year, I sometimes thought to myself, "Steve, you've got it lucky now. No distractions. You can focus full time. What are you going to do when life gets complicated again?" In the end, it didn't matter. That year made me a pro. It gave me, for the first time in my life, an uninterrupted stretch of month after month that was mine alone, that nobody knew about but me. When I was truly productive, truly facing my demons, and truly working my shit. That year has stuck with me. He said that when he typed "The End" on his typewriter, he felt his DNA change. He could divide his life neatly into 2 parts, before turning pro and after. When you convene day upon day in the same space at the same time, a powerful energy will build up around you. This is the energy of your intention, of your dedication, of your commitment. The muse sees this energy and she rewards it. Turning pro is a decision. Do you remember where you were on 9/11? You'll remember where you were when you turn pro.